I gained 3 billion KP this past Heroic Anthem KVK, and it was not easy. Going into this KVK, I was told that it was going to be a chance for us to recover a little bit as we zeroed ourselves the last KVK in that 8 Imperium KVK against 960. However, when we got into the KVK, we saw that we were matched up against 2429, so we had to say goodbye to our speedups and resources yet again. What's up everybody, it's Ploto Gaming here, and in today's video, we'll be going over my speedups and resources to see how much we have left to determine how much we used during KVK versus how many stats we got this KVK, such as KP and deads, and also to check how many kills each commander is able to get throughout the course of the KVK. Let's start off with power and KP. I started the KVK off with 88.4 million power and 10.1 billion KP. I am ending the KVK at 66.2 million power and 13 billion KP. So if we were to compare the before and after KVK, I lost around 22.3 million power and gained around 2.9 billion KP. Next, we can go ahead and compare the KP breakdown. And yeah, we gained majority T5, with us starting at 167 million T4 and 426 million T5 kills, to us now getting 190 million T4 kills and 557 million T5 kills. That means overall in this KVK, I've gained 23.2 million T4 kills and 131.3 million T5 kills, resulting in a total of 154.5 million kills overall. Next, we can go ahead and go into the more stats page, where we are now at 26.7 million deads, compared to the 23.8 million deads we started off the KVK with, meaning throughout this KVK, we are able to get 3 million deads. Here's a breakdown of our Hall of Heroes this KVK, and yeah, we lost a lot of troops, 840,000 being T5 infantry, 900,000 being T5 cavalry, and 740,000 being T5 archers. So yeah, we lost around 2.5 million T5, with the rest being T4. Currently, with the amount of troops we have 380,000 T5 infantry, we have 310,000 T5 cavalry, and 400,000 T5 archers, with 350,000 T4 infantry, 180,000 T4 cavalry, and 180 T4 archers. That's before troop returns, so we will be getting 1.2 million T5 overall back. Alright, so now let's look at our items. I'm not exactly too sure how many items I used, but we will have the usual graphic to the left here. I'm pretty sure I did use a couple of food tokens. One thing I used this KVK was a bunch of my farm account items. I used up all of my tokens there because I started running out of resources going into Kingsland. Talking about resources, we could actually talk about our standing resources. We're at 1.4 billion food, 2.3 billion wood, 2.5 billion stone, and 2.9 billion gold. And as I said, these are coming from my farm account tokens, so hopefully they could last me for next KVK, because I don't have any tokens on my farm accounts as of now. Speedups, again, I'm not too sure how many speedups I have. I think I have about like 400 days of speedups. Definitely super low. Next KVK, I don't know, that might be the first KVK where I actually run out of speedups overall. We will have the graphic to the left over there. So boosts, we used a ton of boosts. We're down to 9-10% defense boosts and 50% troop capacity boosts. The reason why is because every single time I fight, even if it might be for a couple minutes to an hour, I use those boosts. We could go back down to the AP. I actually barely used AP this KVK. I was really diligent with the barbs to begin. Once I maxed my tech and we lost KVK, honestly, it haven't changed at all. So next KVK, you guys got to keep me to this. Next KVK, we are going for top 20, win or lose. I need to chain these barbs because my speed ups are abysmal. So okay, if we look at the rest of my items here, I believe the only thing that's pretty interesting is my gold account. I am back to 1.1k legendary commander sculptures, so whenever the new cavalry come out, we should be good to max them then. All right, now we can go into the interesting part, which is the amount of KP each commander has gotten, and each commander pair as well. So if you guys saw my last video, which was my best marches in Rise of Kingdoms, it kind of went over how my commanders did in Kingsland, but this will go over how much kills they got overall. All right, let's see. We could go ahead and start off with what I rated was probably best performing commander, which was Liu Che. Liu Che is at 53.1 million kills after 2 KVKs. That is kind of crazy. The fact that last KVK got, I believe, 30 million kills. Now it's at 53, so around 23 million kills overall. A really, really strong performance from Liu Che. Liu Che was paired with 2 commanders this KVK. Mostly though, it was with Alex. And the thing that's awkward is I didn't think we'd get any usability from Alex at all. So I didn't record how many kills Alex got or Alex had. So the way that I'm recording this, I have a video called Are We Broke? Account Review versus 2429, which was before the fighting, and kind of comparing, contrasting the stats there. Except I thought Alex would be not used. Well, I thought I didn't see us using Alex, so I actually didn't even record his kills. But I can probably go back to an older video. The last time I brought up Alex was before the fight against 60GT and GV77, where he was at 18.7 million kills, and now Alex is at a solid 30.8 million. So we're going to be definitely putting the stats up there for Alex as well. I also paired my Liu Che with Scipio for a little bit. I believe that was what I used. That was a pair that I used for one infantry march, which was during Zone 5, Zone 7, and all that, and also for Kingsland when I ran out of infantry for that one infantry march. So he is at 87.9 million kills. Okay, Scipio was also paired with Guan Yu. I guess we're going through all the infantry commanders, where Guan Yu is now at 63.3 million kills overall. And there you go. Those are my infantry commanders. All right, now we can go ahead and start with the archer commanders. But let's go ahead and start with our brand new commander here, Hermann Prime, that released prior to this KVK. He is at 16.3 million kills. Solid, super solid for the first KVK. And the thing is, his impact isn't only with the KP, but with the debuffs for other marches as well. Hermann Prime with the secondary though to my Zhuge Liang. Zhuge Liang now has dialogue apparently, but he is at 37.7 million kills, and that is practically 2 KVKs as well. So Zhuge Liang pulling in a solid amount of kills for us there. So we can go ahead and go to my primary commander of my secondary archer march, which is Boudica Prime. And Boudica is at a solid 53.6 million kills. And we could go ahead to the secondaries that we used. The first one that we used was Nebu, and he is at 22.8 million kills. And we also used the old classic YSG, and YSG is at a solid 54.7 million kills and 10.9 billion barb kills. Finally, we can go ahead and go to the cavalry pairs, where my primary cab march, Nevsky with Joan. Nevsky having 86.7 million kills. Is that the highest I have? It's the second highest that I have. Nevsky and Scipio actually being the 2 commanders I had since SOC started. But he is my second highest in terms of kills at 86.7 million kills. We can go ahead and check out Joan of Arc as well. Joan of Arc being the secondary commander to Nevsky at 65.9 million kills, practically 66. So we could round this up to 66 million kills. That's pretty insane for Joan of Arc. So she's been putting in work as well. Let's go ahead and look at our Huo Qubing. Huo Qubing at 26.3 million kills. He is a newer commander. I think I've been using him for the last 2 KVKs. So there you go. And then we could go ahead and look at Huo Qubing's pair William, who is at whoa, that is a crazy 48.6 million kills for William. So he's been putting in work for me as well. So this graphic is a recap of all the stats that we just went through, and it is separated by infantry, archers, and cavalry, showing what each commander was able to gain and adding them together to get a total. And I was super surprised that cavalry inches out the win at 54 million kills overall. Infantry being second place at 53.6 million kills, and then of course archers being in third at 48.4 million kills. I think this just shows the strength of cavalry. All four of these commanders are super solid, while for infantry, I'd say the Guan is pretty questionable, and then for archers, the secondary march is questionable. I think Boudica is still good, but a replacement for the secondary commander there with Nebu or YSG. But yeah, I thought this would be interesting. And then the second graph that we got here is actually the total kills gained in order in terms of commanders. So you could kind of see and visualize what each commander was able to get in terms of kills in order. Liu Che being first place at 23 million kills, Nevsky being second place at 16.8, and then Zhuge, Liang, and Hermann, which was actually my pair, being tied for third at 16.4 million kills. And then you guys can see the rest of it. Fifth place Joan, sixth place Scipio, Alex in 7th, Huo at 8th, William at 9th, at Boudica at 10th, Nebu YSG at 11th, and Guan at 12th. I wouldn't necessarily say this is an investment order list. I'll probably make that video some other time, but this is a pretty interesting list to look at. For the final part of this video, it is finally time to go over our season in retrospect. We've had 3 of these before. This Nile KVK was the farming KVK, so I don't really count it, but Strife for the 8 was against 960, and then we have our Heroic Anthem against 2429, and let's go through this. A glorious path you've taken 3 times. Definitely more than 3 times, but 3 times documented. The Crimson Path, you've killed 154,925,054 units. More than 100% of other governors. We'll take it. I am part of the 0%. The Lost Kingdom will never forget 2024 February 10th. I'm guessing that's Kingsland. Let me go check. So apparently February 10th, which is the second day of Kingsland, was the day that I destroyed 24,719,108 enemy troops. So that's interesting. I guess that's just like the day we had the most kills. In this epic campaign, you've healed 91,534,418 units. We're in the 1% for that. We're not in the 0%. We're 99% better than other governors. And then 2,970,115 of my units were killed, and for that we're actually not that high up. We're actually only in the 5%, better than 95% of governors. So I don't know, maybe next KVK gotta get more deads. It's gotta get more speed ups overall, I guess, and I will definitely have to barb chain for that. You've defeated 22,976 barbarian troops and destroyed 328 barbarian forts. Your people thank you for keeping them safe. So yeah, not that many barbarians. I'm kind of curious to see how much Only Farmer and Taki and the other FTPs have done, because yeah, that's probably nothing. Your Alliance SV killed a total of 4,230,995,128 enemy units, and we were ranked number 5 in the Lost Kingdom. We made a video about the rankings yesterday. It'll be in the card in the top here. Not yesterday, actually a couple hours ago, I guess. But be sure to check it out if you actually want to see the full breakdown of the rankings. And we built 529 alliance flags and destroyed 74 enemy flags. So didn't really destroy too many flags at KVK, but it's all good. Your kingdom has killed 8,034,364,407 enemy units, ranking number 3 in the Lost Kingdom. So yeah, we're doing pretty decent. We're like the 3rd best kingdom in this Lost Kingdom, which makes sense. We are the 3rd Imperium here. Your kingdom healed a total of 6,991,158,626 units. I almost messed up that number. Within the Lost Kingdom, ranked number 3. A total of 886,810,670 units were killed, ranking number 3. So we're just bronze in the podium for all of these as 2268. We are back in the season of Retrospect in A Hero Dies But Once. I just want to see the stats healed. 91,534,418 is a lot of units, and I'm probably going to be splitting in terms of healing 60% T5, 40% T4, because you have to remember in the earlier zones of KVK we kind of did this mix march thing. I think it might be more so 70% T5, 30% T4 actually, because it was a half march essentially what we were using in zone 4. Kingsland we used primarily T5, but once we started running out of T5 we definitely used some T4, so I think a 70-30 split would be a good approximation of how much speed ups and resources we used throughout KVK. Already with that 70-30 split, 70% being T5, 30% being T4 of that 91 million units healed that we had earlier in the season in Retrospect, these are the numbers that we got in terms of speed ups and resources. So we spent 1742 days of speed ups in this KVK according to those calculations. And for the resources, 8.2 billion food, 8.2 billion wood, 5.7 billion stone, and 4.8 billion gold down the drain for us. Still pretty costly, but not as costly as last KVK where we gained 4 billion KP. Video will be in the card in the top right yet again. But yeah, it is still costly for this quote-unquote recovery KVK.